Alright, this is probably a one-time thing because I'm going to format my computer so Camtasia will work properly because I find it a lot easier and better to use than Sony Vegas. Anyways, this is a battle against, I think it's Lizardon from, Quid. Anyways, we both lead with stuff and then I whirlwind them out and we both have Skarmories now and I don't know why I went for Brave Bird. It was a misclick, as I meant to go for another move, as I think was pretty obvious. I don't know why anybody would Brave Bird a Skarmory, but I suppose sometimes it happens. Anyways, out comes my Rotom, who still has no oars, so he still can't row. It's a really tragic story of a very tragic washing machine with a very tragic ability of dancing around really crazily and fast. Anyways, Latios is going to be burned by my Will-O-Wisp, which doesn't really affect him all that much. As we all know, Latios does not mind getting burnt, despite the fact that it could possibly hurt, but it doesn't make it so his physical attacks are any weaker. I live the Draco Meteor fairly well as I go for a Confuse Ray to hopefully get him to hit himself in confusion to do damage to himself, which is kind of the point, I suppose, even though I do think that Will-O-Wisp and Confuse Ray are counterproductive. I didn't really feel like running Thunder Wave on this thing. So I go for the Hydro Pump as he conveniently knows that my moveset does not affect him at all, so I have to switch out after I Confuse Ray him for some stupid reason. I guess because I'm already low enough on health. What else can I possibly do, especially after coming out Stealth Rock? He's going to Scald and kill me now, if I'm not mistaken, and he does. Amazing. Now I'm going to bring out my Roserade, as I am bad to the bloom, bud to the bloom, whatever you want to call it. Bad to the bone is the joke there. Anyways, Slate powdered the incoming Skarmory, and now we're just going to have a little game of try and figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do. So I set up some Toxic Spikes, because I know he doesn't have any poison types, and I think that it could hit some of the things on his team anyway. I honestly can't remember. Sometimes people just set up hazards and they're like, yeah, I forget. So he gets up to this Heracross and gets his Guts boost, which ends up screwing me over in the end, because he's Scarfed. Now I'm going to switch out to my Skarmory to take the hit, hopefully, because it is max defense, if I'm not mistaken. And I'd take the close combat not too well, because Skarmory can't take too many things if it's boosted high enough. Although I suppose a Guts boosted close combat from a Heracross is kind of powerful. He gets a crit. I don't know if it mattered or not. I think it was overkill. I honestly don't remember. Nidoran's going to come out now, because I edited a Pokemon named Nidoran and forgot to nickname my Azelf. It happens to the best of us. And it's another reason why I dislike Pokegen. But no one can ever say that I'm being held accountable for that, now can they? I'm going to Fire Blast this Skarmory and it's going to die, as that is typically what happens. And no, the crit did not matter, at least I'm assuming it didn't matter, but we'll find out later in the future if it actually mattered or not. I'm going to switch out to my Roserade, thinking he might go for the close combat, thinking I'll switch to something else, but he just goes for the Mega Horn because he doesn't really have any reason to not go for the Mega Horn, especially after Skarmory is dead. Now I'm going to go out to my all-terrain vehicle, and hopefully Altaran can get out the whole message of death and destruction. But I missed the Fire Blast on Gastrodon, which won't do a whole lot anyway, and it's typically a bad thing when you miss a Fire Blast, but it doesn't really matter when it's not going to do hardly anything. He's going to Scald my Azelf on the switch, and I was hoping that I could possibly kill him with my timid max special attack and speed Azelf, but as you can see, he lives on the tiniest amount of HP possible, and manages to kill me off with the Scald as he dies to Toxic. I did have Nasty Plot on that set, but I knew there would never be a time where I'd get to use it safely. And now that he has died, I pretty much have to rely on the fact that he's a Heracross that's Scarfed, and I'm a Heatran that's Scarfed, and it's not going to work out for me, as it is typical of a Scarf Heatran to be slower than a Scarfed Heracross. All-terrain vehicle is going to go down, as this Heracross is going to die next turn from poison, but I don't really have much of a choice here. I have to just use extreme speed because Lucario is, if I'm not mistaken, my last or close to it. And out comes a Gliscor to rain on my parade. I'm going to go for Crunch, For close combat is not that big of a deal, and I get a crit and a defense drop, which is hilarious. But it doesn't matter because Earthquake is going to unquestionably finish me off. And that is the match for now. And you can see his team and stuff, but I'm not going to edit any of this out, because why not? As you can see, his team was a team, and my team was a team. That's all I can be said. Don't know why I said it all weird like. Anyways, definitely leave comments. I'm never using Sunny Vegas again. I don't like it. I'm going to go back to Camtasia as soon as I format my computer, which I don't want to do, but I guess I'm going to have to if I want to be able to edit videos the way I want to. Which generally ends up being better, and they end up being smaller, and they end up being easier to digest. Which everybody likes to have in their diet.